All right, so you want to sell a theme on the Shopify theme store. You all know it's a tough market, right? Well, today we're going to break down exactly what it takes to go from just writing code to actually making money. Think of this as your 5-minute playbook for building a pro-level theme that Shopify will actually approve.
Look, you've got the design skills, you know how to code, and you can build a theme that looks amazing. That's awesome, seriously. But here's the real question. Is it ready for prime time? Can you get it through Shopify's approval process and, more importantly, make it something that merchants actually want to use every single day?
Well, it turns out there is a playbook for this, a way to get from a good theme to a sellable one. It's really a formula that not only makes your theme better, but also seriously cuts down your chances of getting that dreaded rejection email. All right, let's get into it.
When you boil it all down, building a theme that actually sells comes down to mastering two things. That's it. You've got the rules and you've got the tools. You need to know the official requirements to get your theme approved, and you need to know the right tech to make your theme super powerful for merchants.
Okay, first up, the rules. Honestly, the best way to think about Shopify's requirements is like this. Imagine you just built an amazing custom car. It looks incredible, right? But before you can legally drive it on the road, it has to pass all those safety and emissions tests. It's the exact same idea here.
So Shopify's official checklist is, well, it's long, like over 20 points long. But it all really comes down to a few key things you just can't ignore. First, performance. Your theme has to be fast. Every millisecond counts. Then there's accessibility. Everyone has to be able to use it. It also has to work perfectly on all the modern browsers. No excuses. And here's a big one. It has to be unique. It needs to solve a specific problem for a specific industry and, of course, include all the pages a merchant would expect, like the 404 page, the cart, all that stuff.
You know, the developer in our source material, Aisha Nazish, put it perfectly. This whole checklist, it's not just Shopify making you jump through hoops. It's about quality control. Following these rules makes your theme 1,000 times better. And trust me, it'll save you the heartache of getting rejected after all that hard work.
All right, so you've nailed the rules. Your theme is compliant. It passes the tests. Awesome. But now, is it actually flexible? This is where we get into part 2, the tools. Because really, the biggest game changer right now is giving merchants the power to control their own content without ever having to call a developer.
Think about how it used to be. You'd build an image slider, and everything, the images, the text, it was all hard-coded. If a merchant wanted to change one picture, they'd have to email you. It was basically a printed brochure. Once it's made, it's a pain to change. But the new way, it uses this incredible tool called meta objects, and that turns your static brochure into a living, breathing document that the store owner can edit anytime they want.
So what in the world are meta objects? Just think of them as building blocks. They're like a customizable engine for your theme, letting you create custom content types for anything. Testimonials, team member bios, image galleries, you name it.
Yeah, they're basically your own little content Legos inside Shopify. You create the blueprint for one block, like a testimonial that has a photo, a quote, and a name. You define it just once. Then the merchant can go in and add as many testimonials as they want, all using your template. So for our example, let's stick with that dynamic image slider.
And the way you build it is super logical. You start small. First, you define what a single slide is. It needs an image field, a title field, and a description. Got it. Then you define the slider, which is just a list that holds all those slide objects. And just like that, the merchant has a super simple menu in their admin where they can add new slides, delete old ones, and drag them around. It's brilliant. No code required for them. Okay, great. So the structure is there in the Shopify admin, and the merchant is happily adding their content. But how does your theme, the actual front-end code, get that information to show it on the site? Well, that's where Shopify's API comes in.
And this is where the magic happens. Instead of having a messy file full of hard-coded links and text, your theme now makes just one simple API call to Shopify. It basically just says, hey, Shopify, can you send me the data for the main homepage slider? And boom, Shopify sends back all the fresh content the merchant just entered.
And for you, the developer, this is just so clean. Your request only needs to know 3 simple things. 1, what kind of data are you asking for? A slider. 2, which specific slider do you want? You use its unique ID for that. And 3, what pieces of that slider do you need? Just the image and the title? Great, that's all. It's so efficient and keeps your code base way, way cleaner.
So let's tie this all together. What's the secret formula? It's simple. You need a theme that nails the rules, passing that whole Shopify checklist. And you need a theme that masters the tools, using things like meta objects to give merchants real power.
You combine those two things, and that's when you have a professional product. That's a sellable theme.
And you know, once you master these rules and tools, it's not just about getting approved. It completely opens up what's possible. You can start building incredible custom experiences. Dynamic lookbooks, meet the team sections, testimonial sliders, anything really. And the best part? It's all easily managed by the store owner. So the only real question is, what are you going to build next?